How much did Marvel pay Robert Downey Jr. to shill for Ironheart? Not once, but twice, RDJ promotes Ironheart for Marvel, which comes out next week with 3 episodes on Disney Plus, in the hopes that it actually makes the Nielsen ratings charts, which no Marvel show has done in quite a while. That's not all. Robert Downey Jr. appeared on Good Morning America in a surprise appearance where he said Iron Man loves Ironheart. Sorry, folks. It's Rip MC.
What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody. Look, you guys probably have seen or heard about this. This isn't the first time this has happened with Robert Downey Jr. Sending some sort of a message of support to Ironheart. He says, Miss Thorne, I couldn't be happier than seeing you bring Riri Williams to life. Iron Man loves Ironheart. All right. And he said this apparently on Good Morning America. But you know what? I want to talk about this, man. If you ever want to know what is the absolute certified proof that something is woke, it's when Discussing Film locks the replies. If you ever see Discussing Film lock replies on something, doesn't matter what it is, all right? That is almost like proof of wokeness. It's like, oh, Discussing Film lock the replies, gotta be hot trash, certified garbage. Because Discussing Film already know the smoke is coming and they want no parts of it, all right? You see all the quote tweets down here. We're about to check them out. But yeah, that's what it is, man. Anytime Discussing Film decides to lock some replies, look, you could just pretty much say, oh, okay, I don't even need to know what it is. It might be something I've never heard of. If I come through and I'm just reading Discussing Film and I see, oh, what? They must have locked the reply. Oh, okay, it's woke. It's woke. I don't even need to look any further, all right? And look, if they lock the replies, you automatically know somewhere out there is a YouTuber covering this situation, all right? Like I'm covering this. There's somebody out there covering it, and they probably gonna watch this show, so you don't have to, so you can just tune into them. This is like a way to just kind of ferret out bullshit. I like it, okay? It's like, oh, okay, Discussing Film is locking these replies. I know to avoid this show entirely. All right, there's no reason for me to watch it. I'll find a YouTuber that's gonna cover it, and I'll give him my time and attention, straight up, all right? But yeah, look, this ain't the only story that's coming out about Ironheart. Folks are a little upset right now at this piece. Yeah, Culture Crave, who didn't lock replies, said, we got the release schedule for Ironheart, June 24, episodes 1 through 3. We understood that. But now we see that they're going to drop the whole rest of it the next week, July 1st. I thought they were going to like say, okay, the first 3 and then 111, you know, 3 more weeks after that, a total of 4 weeks. And then they were going to get out of it like that. Nah, they ain't even doing that. They saying we are 2 weeks and we are finished. Finito. All right, we getting up out of here. Hey, I don't understand why y'all just didn't drop it all at the same time like you did with Echo. Just boom, done. All right, whoa, that was it. Huh, that was painless. All right, just like ripping the Band-Aid. Just get it over with. There is zero reason to delay this any more than necessary. All right, we know it's going to be trash. Y'all know it's going to be trash. That's why you're dropping it like this. All right. That's why this shit has been sitting on the shelf for 3 years. That's why y'all held it back for 3 years, because you know it is trash. Aren't y'all tired of dealing with it? Aren't y'all sick and tired of talking about it? Oh my God, this damn show keep coming up, man. We made some garbage. Man, just put it out. Just get it out. Get it over and done with, man. It's over. Let's stop. Good God, man. Y'all been holding on to this bullshit for 3 years. Y'all would think, yeah, man, we just got to hurry up and just move on from it. But yeah, see, some fans, they're a little salty about what's happening right now with this release schedule.
Marvel and Disney, just in general, is really tapping into this conservative bullshit, and I need y'all to pay attention. So the episode guide just dropped for Ironheart. They dropped it on Instagram, and they're only giving this TV show 2 days of releases. 2 days for 6 episodes. Meanwhile, other TV shows get full, like, months to, like, air and shit like that. But this show, with a black female lead, only gets 2 different days of a release. Not even a full, like, actual, what the fuck? You know who else they did this shit to? They did this to Echo, that TV series with the indigenous female lead. And she only got 1 day and 5 episodes. That's nasty behavior. That's nasty work.
No, that's actually a benefit. That's actually a benefit to Ironheart. All right? They actually said, hey, we gave Ironheart an extra episode and an extra day. You know, they gave Ironheart a little bit of love. You should be happy about that. You know, it has nothing to do with indigenous or woman of color or any of that crap, all right? It has everything to do with the fact that they made trash. Marvel knows that they made some trash. Kevin Feige hired some writers and directors. Hey, go out there and make us an Ironheart series. And they made what they made, and they turned it in, and then Kevin Feige was looking at that like, and then he was looking around the room at everybody else up there, the top executives in Marvel, and they was all looking at each other, and they was all like, nope, nope, nope. Hey, look, go see if we can fix it up, see what we can do in post, add some special effects. Let's see if we can figure a way to make this make some sense, do some reshoots or whatever they had to do. They've been sitting on this motherfucking thing for 3 years. They ain't did that by accident. They did that because they know they got hot garbage on their hands. That's the reason why they're dropping it the way they're dropping it. Like I said, they should just get it out the way, just release it and be done with it. You know, and what does conservative have to do with any of this? These are, oh, you know, they're leaning into the conservatives. Do you really think Marvel is trying to do something for conservatives? Bro, are you smoking? Look, if it was up to the conservatives, this shit wouldn't have been out at all. The fact that this thing is getting released at all tells you that this isn't about conservative anything. They just know they got garbage on their hands and they're not about to waste time and then have this thing sitting in the cultural zeitgeist for 6 weeks. Can you imagine if this thing was coming out week after week after week after week? Oh my God, man, the articles that would be written, the YouTube videos that would be made, man, we would be feasting on this. Marvel knew what they were doing. Nope, we're going to do 2 weeks. That's the most we're going to give it, and we are out of here. We ain't going to sit up there and let this thing and our brand get destroyed. Well, I mean, they've already destroyed the brand, but they ain't going to just watch complete and utter shit show go on for 6+ weeks. 4 weeks, what I thought it was going to be. 3 episodes and then 1 week apiece afterwards. That would have been too much. Marvel's doing the right thing. The best thing they could have did was just drop it all at once, rip the Band-Aid and be done. But let's listen to the rest of this guy.
And on top of that, both of those TV shows had terrible marketing and terrible promotion behind them. Like, they really intentionally fumbled the bag for these TV shows when it came to actually, like, promoting this shit. Because they're tapping into this conservative behavior, and it's really fucking apparent. All these conservatives keep...
Here we go again with conservatives. Here we go. Like, what does the conservatives have to do with this? They have nothing to do with this at all. Marvel made this for the woke crowd. For folks like you, for the wokes, all right? And you're going to lean into it and you're going to probably clap it up regardless of how shitty it is. Look, Ironheart is a character that's never worked ever, not once. Rebooted multiple times, shit every single time. People do not like this character. For some dumbass reason, they decided to go out there and make a TV show on it. That's their bad. And then when they saw what they got, they know there's nothing we can do with this. Nothing at all. We just got to roll it out there the best way we can. They sat on this for 3 years for a reason. They sat on it for 3 years, and it doesn't have anything to do with conservatives. But like, again, let's see how many people go and watch this shit. That's the real test. Is anybody going to show up and watch this? You're talking about conservatives, bruh. Listen, what they probably should have been doing is trying to find something in the middle. Not too far left, not too far right, something in the middle would have been the sweet spot. Now this guy is complaining about conservative, bruh.
Complaining about DEI and fucking Marvel and shit like that when they fail to realize that the only reason why they have any kind of Marvel movies is because of fucking Wesley Snipes and Blade. Are you kidding me? For people who actually love...
What is this guy talking about? Why is he talking about Blade? Everybody recognizes that Blade is what kicked off this current era of comic book movies being solid, being something that's marketable to the masses. Everybody recognizes that. It doesn't matter what they are, conservative, liberal, black, white, you name it. Everybody recognizes what Wesley Snipes did. That's why he got that big cheer in Deadpool and Wolverine. Everybody recognized that. Everybody gives Wesley Snipes and Blade, those 3 Blade movies, their props. This guy don't know what he's talking about, man. Straight up. He has no clue what he's talking about. This has nothing to do with skin color. This has everything to do with the fact that they made garbage and they know they made garbage. If they thought that this thing was great and wonderful and beautiful and amazing, this thing would have been out like a couple of years ago. It probably would have came out in 2023. They would have been like, oh yeah, put that out, put that out. Yeah, that's hot. That's fire. Yeah, get that out there. People gonna love that. They held on to it for 3 years because they know it's garbage. Come on, bro.
these characters like Ironheart and Echo, they get completely shat on because they don't ever want to put in the effort for these characters. Oh, but you'll get a full release for that terrible ass What If series. You get a full release for that shit. You get a full release for that funky ass Amazing Spider-Man shit because it can't get the fucking live action rights to it. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the main reason why I completely just dropped Marvel after Endgame, because honestly speaking, they just have been fumbling the bag over and over and over and over, and it's just clear as day. Like, Marvel, the MCU does not hit like it used to, and because they don't actually expand on their stories instead of falling into this type of behavior. Shit is fucking crazy.
I mean, like, everything he said at the end was true. Marvel has dropped the ball. They absolutely have. But not for the reasons he's thinking. It's because of the fact that they've leaned into the MCU and into the DEI instead of great character development. Does he not get that? Is that the characters that we've gotten have all been propped up, just straight up DEI. Just, hey, we didn't earn it. We got here because somebody pushed us into the spotlight, not because these characters were popular in the comics or popular on cartoons or popular anywhere. People were like, who in the fuck is this person? America Chavez? Who, what, where? Nobody knew anything about all of these characters. Echo, nobody knew anything about them. If they were hot to trot characters and people loved them, they would have already ascended in the comic books. I mean, goddamn, man, like Miles Morales, say what you want about him. People know who Miles Morales is. People like Miles Morales. People like those comics. I personally think it's just race swap Spider-Man or, you know, tokenized Spider-Man. That's really all it is. But the reality is people like it. And so that character's been able to elevate, stay in the mix. And people go and watch his movies, TV shows, whatever you name it. Buy the comics. Ironheart has not had that kind of pop. She just hasn't. And so for Ironheart to be up in here, that's just nothing but somebody thrust you up. Here, let's put Ironheart in her own TV series and give her a boost. Even though she's done nothing. The character itself, I should say. The character has done nothing to deserve it. This doesn't have anything to do with Dominique Thorne. This has nothing to do with the people that are in the show, whatever. It's the reality is that this show and this character, it's just not going to work with most people. And that's the reason why Marvel sat on this shit for years.
Maybe now that Iron Man gave props to Ironheart, the haters will shut up. I know they won't, but I can hope. The fact that they have to turn off the comments whenever there's a post about Riri Williams tells me not to take their criticism seriously because they can't.
All right, wait a minute. So he's posting up the same discussing film tweet that we just saw, right? And then above it, he says, Iron Man supports Ironheart and you should too. So because a fictional character supports another fictional character, that means that I, in the real world, should also support this fictional character. That's what this guy is saying. Man.
They can't be objective. Robert Downey Jr. told Dominique Thorne that he couldn't be happier that she's bringing Riri Williams to life, and Iron Man loves Ironheart. What does it say if you don't agree with your favorite superhero? You're supposed to be Team Iron Man, but you're Team Captain. They act as if she hasn't earned the right.
This dude literally just said, what does it mean if your favorite superhero agrees with something and you don't? If your favorite superhero loves Ironheart, because, you know, it's a real thing, right? I can't do this shit. I can't understand. Oh, my God. And just remember, these people vote. These people vote, too. Jeez. Oh, my God. I missed, like, half of this. Just my mind just, like, got up and left. Like, come back here, brain. I need you. Because he was like, I'm out. I can't deal with this bullshit. DA, you on your own on this one, bro. The brain just took off. I lost like the last 5 minutes of this or 5 seconds. Let me rewind.
Iron Man, but your team Captain. They act as if she hasn't earned the right to wear the suit, but she definitely has. They just hold her to a higher standard. I had more of a problem with Tony Stark being Peter Parker's mentor in the MCU. That detracted from his working class background. Riri and Tony are engineers and inventors, and Tony's alma mater is MIT, but they don't care about that. In the comics, Riri had an operating system based on Tony Stark, and the hologram helped guide her along her path. After Iron Man dies in Civil War II, Riri becomes Ironheart, and she has such respect for the legacy. In the MCU, she's a hero doing her own thing. She was inspired by Tony, but she's forging her identity. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, like, nothing, like, this has nothing to do with the MCU, though. Like, all of that comic shit, and that's not part of the MCU. Tony Stark died before Ironheart ever had a chance to meet him. So he can't be her mentor or nothing. Now she's just stealing shit from him. Like, all right, I'm going to steal some of Iron Man's old shit. That's it. Bruh, man, this is the modern audience. This right here, this person represents the modern audience that Marvel is trying to tap into. These are the people that they're trying to sell Ironheart and, you know, Fantastic Sue and all of that shit. That's who they're trying to sell this crap to. All of this MCU shit and the DEI bullshit that you keep seeing, they're trying to sell it to these cats. These people, and they wonder why. They wonder why shit is falling down. You wonder why, Marvel? You've picked the wrong horse to side with. You should have went with the fans. You should have did what?
Listen to the fans.
You should have listened to the fucking fans. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's jump over to the quote tweets from Discussing Film. People are wondering why the comments are turned off. The poster knew that hateful comments would start flooding in from people who are disgustingly racist. It's a shame that people can't be civil about this. Kudos to RDJ for being a wonderful human being. Yes, of course. Yeah, because that's the reason why they turned off the comments, because everybody's a racist, all right? Everybody's a racist who's coming in here. People don't have legit criticisms. Nah, never have legitimate criticisms. It's always racism with these people. It's too funny, man. Turn it off. What's up, George? Turning off the comments is what you do when you know a show needs a do not resuscitate, not CPR. Yeah, it's a dead duck. This is The Walking Dead. This show is going to absolutely flop, man. Huge respect to Robert. Fuck the racist incel hater. So now if you was going to mock this show, it has to be because you're racist. All right. I'm a black man and I'm going to mock the ever-loving shit out of this show. And I have not a racist bone in my body. All right. I'm going to mock this thing as long as I can. The racist and woman haters are mad as fuck. They can't leave comments. I mean, no, they're not mad. They're just laughing at Discussing Film for being cowards. Like, look, like they said this over here, Culture Crave, right? We was just talking about this. Somebody actually posted this. Where is it at? Yeah, surprised you didn't turn off the comments. They left the comments open and people just had regular conversations, all right? People just talking about, hey, you know, dropping 6 eps in 2 weeks is crazy. Marvel said binge it or be spoiled, all right? I can't wait for this to be the first series I cover on my channel. I don't see a lot of racism. I don't see a lot of racism over here. People just saying hard pass, flop, hard pass, all right? I'm ready for it. Let's get this over with. It's like rip the Band-Aid. Nobody asked for this, none. That's it. That's all. There's nothing about racism. There's nothing about black people, this, that, or third. Nothing about women, okay? We don't care. Squid Game is better. Look, nothing like that. The only thing they're talking about is the show is trash. It has nothing to do with this stuff. Discussing Film's just cowards. They're just cowardly. The fact that Twitter has gotten to the point where DF Discussing Film has to turn off comments on any post featuring a black woman to prevent racial harassment is disgusting. No, when Discussing Film turns off the comments or the replies on any post, that means they know, yeah, this is woke, this is garbage, we need to turn it off because we don't want to deal with all of the funny jokes and everything, everybody going back and forth in the comments and in the replies. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to see that on their shit. They try to keep everything nice and light and positive, and that's fine. They can do that. But again, they know good and goddamn well that this show is trash. It's woke. They know what's coming, and they're like, I think we're good. All right, we're going to go ahead and keep this out of our mix. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. It drops in a week. We got 1 week left. All right, and then we are all in on Ironheart. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to discuss this show. But you guys let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.